well, quote-unquote off-lane there. The Era, Troll, Warlord both farming very, very well. And it's just a farming Undying. This is not the hero you want farm on. It's Envy you really want the items coming out for.
Level 1 Healing Ward in action, and of course level 2, the crit.
Okay, so for NiP, probably pretty happy with how things are going here. Jonas did rotate towards mid on the Queen of Pain. I guess he wasn't really getting much out of this offlane anyways, but...
Yeah, there's no way he could have.
Swinging into this Radiant jungle. That gets spotted out by an Observer Ward, but I think they know. They're like, Envy's only move is to go into the jungle. Let's go and punish this.
I wonder what Envy's gonna do.
And he's level 2. He's jungling. Do you think he has Blade Fury? No, I don't think so. He's gone for the Healing Ward and the Blade Dance, so...
So greedy.
I mean, I don't even know if at this point it's like not even greedy. Your only way to catch up is the jungle potentially, and he's thinking,
but you don't die.
Yeah,
right? Like just getting spin and crit, I think is much safer.
Yes, as opposed to the Healing Ward. Yeah, I guess he was in the lane thinking, okay, I'll get Healing Ward to save out on Tangos and then get XP in the lane.
Yeah,
but he never got XP in lane.
That's greedy. You could have just fought Tangos. 2% of your HP for 50 seconds, so 50% of your HP. That's a whopping like 275. Which is like 2 Tangos worth.
Look what they're doing down bottom to his jungle and everything. They get deep Observer Wards down. They have a ward near mid lane, which sees towards into the enemy jungle as well. They have complete control of this bottom side of the map. And Envy, he's trying to Quelling Blade through these trees. Era searching through every little gap. Multiple TPs coming their way. They spot out Envy, and he has not got a Blade Fury. RP will not keep it alive. Here comes Jonas. Skewer into the tower. 2 heroes caught in that one with the RP, but Era going to turn and fight. Fat has already used the Skewer, and it looks like Era will bring down your Magnus as well. Misery already throwing out the arrow as Era does go down to the Phoenix damage over time, but the Fire Blast now coming into play, and it's another kill going the way of the ninjas. Misery, no leap for the time being. Is he going down? Is there follow-up?
What is going on with Cloud9? Why is Undying not here in this fight? Imagine a Tombstone drop right there, a level 3 Tombstone. Bone 7. Okay, and Juggernaut didn't have spin and died again.
Yeah.
Big surprise.
There were so many TPs in as well. It's like, okay, all these TPs, Cloud9 are ready for this, but yeah, like you said, no Undying.
NiP is just taking complete advantage of Cloud9, and Cloud9, I mean, they're... yes, the tower is important, but I also think not losing 4 heroes on your bottom lane is also very important.
I think they had already pushed the tower as well. That tower, when I looked before going towards the bottom lane dive, like it was on sub 150 HP. With 3 heroes pushing it still, so...
Yeah, and Bone 7 is just on a hero that doesn't do that well with farm. And if he were like a Bat Rider, and it were his BOTs or his Blink Dagger that he was getting up there, okay, sure, so be it.
Just you wait, here comes this Midas, then he'll show you what he can do with farm.
Not carry as hard as EE would with farm.
EE smoked?
Okay, he has Blade Fury.
Yep.
And he has a Quelling Blade before boots. Going full greed.
Just the smoke to get into my jungle so I can farm. Like, let's smoke past their wards to get into the jungle, and then I can actually take some camps.
I don't think he is used to being in this situation.
Oh, Limp, another shockwave off the mark, and the glimpse back. Limp will still go down as Phoenix dives on through, and back towards the mid lane, Magnus goes down. He was glimpsed back and became the focus of attention for NiP.
Okay, I'm dying.
He's coming into play. He's in the mid lane, shows up. Still not involved in any of the actual kills just yet. And bottom lane, it's Era pushing down the tier 1 tower. And we can just sit and watch as this happens.
And Era's going to be so fat, and then he's going to be able to control Roche too. Especially if Undying doesn't fight. Undying's pretty much our only way to control Roche at this point, because Phoenix is not level 6. But he's almost there.
Maybe even they see Envy, it's like, okay, he's level 4. Do you think he has Blade Fury by now? 50-50.
Stats plus more stats.
Stats plus Blade Dance.
Well,
or yes,
they're probably looking at his stats. If he doesn't have stats, they have to assume that he has Blade Fury.
Yeah, he wouldn't go 2 Healing Ward, so. Alright, so they know he has Blade Fury. But NiP now, their next move going to be rotating Lina as well as Ogre towards the mid lane and even into this enemy jungle. Lina taking enemy neutral camps at this point.
I think that's a big problem that Lina's underfarmed though. Because she needs mobility items to deal with not getting RP'd, to not getting caught in the Phoenix stuff, to burst heroes down before they can Omni Slash and drop Tombstone and whatnot. And I mean, she's doing decently in terms of farm.
Still has more farm than anyone on Cloud9. It's just not exactly impressive for 9 minutes.
I think she should be more farmed.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Another smoke from Cloud9, another kind of odd smoke.
Protect the jungle.
Yeah, they're going to go on through. It looks like Era may be the target, but Arrow has to land. That's really their only initiation here, outside of a Skewer RP.
Yeah, the Mirana pick in general was just so risky by them.
Yeah, without a good initiation, Hansen just TP's out bottom lane. He's not really got anything to worry about. That's why I don't get... They just use 2 smokes in a row. How do you smoke gank with like a Mirana? You've got no way to guarantee this arrow. If you find someone, there's a chance you get the kill with an arrow, but it's not like a guaranteed kill, like if you have a lion with an impale or something. Bit of an odd one.
Maybe they were just confident.
I guess, I mean, with Mirana, confidence is always key. That's how you find those early kills. And for now, Cloud9 down many kills and a lot of net worth. The top 3 farmers all on that dire side, and you give Era a bit of a lead on that Troll Warlord, and he will take advantage of it. Ancients, Roshan, your Radiant jungle, the Dire jungle, whatever he wants on the map, he will have access to.
How's good old Magnus doing in terms of his quest for the Blink Dagger?
Decent, 1900 gold, not going for the Arcane Boots, so going for the straight Blink Rush. As Undying picks up a first item mech. So Bone 7 has got to fight now. He's got max Tombstone, he's got mech. This is where he needs to be very active and involved.
Yeah, no Midas. I mean, if he goes a mech, they're kind of pushing for the mid game, right? But their mid game isn't that strong, just because Envy is really underfarmed. Phoenix just hit level 6, and Troll is kind of overfarmed. If they like let NiP take an Aegis, their mid game kind of goes out the window until like the 25-minute mark and later.
It also feels like they may not have a good way to stop Era from taking an Aegis. They're going to just try 5-man at this point.
Tombstone and Egg.
Well, it's not even 5. Yeah, Tombstone and Egg. They have got the team fight, but they can't take Roshan themselves. If NiP just back off and then wait for the Tombstone and Egg to wear off, then they go back in. So they can maybe delay the Rosh, but preventing it altogether seems kind of tricky. Era comes in, going to look to bring down the Tomb. Hit by the arrow, but they do take down the Tomb. No more zombies to worry about, but a Shockwave comes through, and
they really need to blink. If Mag had just a slightly better start, he could blink Skewer back, and that would be an instantly 1 team fight and a tower.
Yep.
So Mag not having his items are really costing him at this point.
Yeah, Mag's died, what, twice? Yeah, 0-2 on Fata, and...
Yeah, all it took was one of those deaths to be prevented, or 1 arrow hit by Misery in the mid.
They're going to give Hanskin some farm at bottom lane. He's got his max glimpse now as he hits level 7. So we'll see if they can hit some static storms at this point. And Limp on the Lina needs that Yule Scepter as soon as possible. And it is coming pretty fast.
You know, I was playing with someone once and they called it Elu Scepter.
Eluse?
Maybe they have dyslexia. Yeah, it was Eluse. It's like the U comes before the L. I'm fairly sure.
There's some new school play. There's your RP. The Blink Dagger coming into play. Fata just picked this one up and kills off your Lina. Envy taking the Laguna Blade. That's some hate for Eternal Envy. But he's going to Healing Ward up, gets the bottle charges, and take the T1 tower here. Suddenly Envy could be, I don't want to say caught up, but in a much better position. Problem is he's not really feeling confident about going for this tower.
Why is he scared? What is going to kill him? Can he just spin away
Static
from
Storm, I guess. Maybe like a straight up Static Storm connect field, but outside of that, not sure. Both teams get a tower. Troll gets the deny on mid lane, though. See, Envy's got some at least damage now with the Empower, Phase Boots. Not
max crit.
Yeah, max crit. Pure farm mode right now. Pro-Man Shield, Quelling Blade, and...
Pure farm mode would be no Blade Fury. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on now.
No
Omni Slash. Oh, wait, I guess Omni Slash can
farm
improve
heroes.
efficiency.
Yeah.
Farm creeps.
Oh, farm creeps.
I see you, tomato and potato, will raise you an Omni Slash.
Stack a big camp and then yeah, throw Omni Slashes out.
Not a viable farming strategy, I'm
no.
sad to say.
Do not try that one in your pub games, guys. So NiP, they... Normally I feel like we see more aggression from them, and despite how big of a lead they had, like we're not really seeing the Ogre, the Lina, the Queen of Pain get hyper aggressive by any means. They had a good fight at bottom lane, but since then it has been pretty quiet from the Swedish squad. They're still in the lead though.
I think they should be threatening Rosh. I think they should have been threatening Rosh.
They've got the Yasha now with the Lifesteal on Troll. He's gone for a max fervor build, so he's got the Rosh build. He's even gone stats. I've not seen a stats Troll this early on normally. That is a slightly unorthodox build coming out from Era. Here comes NiP. And I think Oh, here comes Cloud9. I think NiP recognizing the potency of that Tombstone Supernova team fight. They back right off. Envy, though, he's now got to a point with decent farm that...
He's going to try to do Roche. Don't tell me that he's going to try.
Power.
He has no lifesteal.
2 points in healing ward.
They're crazy.
Fata with a DD. It's possible.
They are crazy.
Cloud9 are doing it.
Are they really?
Mech?
This is so slow and really bold.
Oh god, what's NiP's next move? They're going to keep throwing Dragon Slaves from afar, I imagine. Here comes your TP from Queen of Pain. Possible Sonic Wave from the high ground. They throw in the Axis to slow things down. RP catches out too. Limp not going to get any spells off. They get sliced on the Lina. No Laguna Blade. Fata though. Silence in the Static Storm. Not the best Static Storm. The Supernova from the side. Here's Jonas. Sonic Wave Scream brings down Jug as well as Magnus. And that's a 2-for-2 trade so far. Cloud9 at least breaking even and look to add one more. They get a third. And
did she not have Blink Up? What happened there?
it was on cooldown.
It's on cooldown now.
Yeah.
Well,
Misery brought down 3 for 4.
That was a great RP by Fata to set it all up. And yeah, the Tombstone is really strong there. I'm just surprised they got the jump. Do they have good vision around there? They have that high ground ward. Guess they wouldn't have done it without that one. And the low ground ward.
What's Hera up to here? Looking to 5.7. Just going to find some backup in the form of No Tails Phoenix, who has a Blink Dagger up already. This Phoenix has to support one of your top farmers on the Cloud9 side. And okay, I guess Cloud9 at this point saying, look, we may be behind, but we have the better team fight.
Yeah, but no egg and no mana on Bone 7. I also don't know why he stuck around for so long. Now they're going to have a window of like 20 seconds, I would say, where Bone 7 can't actually be there for the fight. And if NiP were more keen on taking Roche, I think it would have already been taken down.
Well, they're going to de-ward the high ground ward as well, so I think they may make a move towards it. Era smokes up once more, and arrow. I heard an arrow. Didn't see him. Okay.
Yeah, Bone 7 didn't go heal fast enough, and I mean, Cloud9, they went in, they won the fight, but they still lose the Roche, and that's the thing. Like, they don't have a way to secure the Roche quickly and easily.
It also wasn't like a clean fight win. They lose both Magnus and Jug. Like, having Undying survive a fight is not your ideal candidate. Like, you'd rather your Undying go in, throw all his spells and die, and then the Jug comes out the winner as far as not having to die in a fight.
Bone 7's not doing what he's good at.
He's not feeding. Bone 7, come on, man. You're meant to be creating space for Envy and feeding to help him out, but...
So much for being EE-centric. Well, they do have Cleave on the Juggernaut. Some ancient stacks.
Hanskin, TP out. Where's your arrow? It's been already used, and it looks like Hanskin will TP himself out. So yeah, Envy farming up ancient stacks, has a Morbid Mask back at base, and this will get him close to his Mask of Madness.
Yeah, he's catching up decently. The ancient stack certainly helped, but looking at his net worth, it is still number 6. And a little over half of Troll's net worth.
Troll not leveling up Berserker's Rage. This is just a new Troll build I have not seen.
HP is nice.
It definitely helps him out against some of the nuke damage, but yeah, you get movement speed, you get extra bash duration. I guess he's around the time you get the SMY is when you want more points in the Berserker's Rage for sure, because you get the slow, you're more likely to be able to bash people down. But he's going kind of range mode for the most part for now. Keeper's coming towards mid lane. They want to defend this T1 tower. Fata has a blink ready to go, but NiP have backed off, and
that build's pretty cool actually. It's a good range build.
Uh-oh. Limp hit by a 5-second arrow. There's going to be a TP in from Misery. Fire Spirits from afar, and one dive could finish him off. The Shockwave is there, but Lina with defensive Yules, and there's your skewer. Fata gonna help bring him down, but Phoenix gets the last hit in the end.
Big Daddy No Tail on a killing spree. Juggernaut still kind of down in the dump with the gold, but he's moving on up in this world.
1,200 gold with a blink. He's going to get silenced by the Jonas Orca. That's a new pickup, and No Tail going down. Jonas, nice little arrow dodge there as Phoenix gets picked off.
That also means the Juggernaut is very vulnerable because he doesn't have a Manta to get rid of the Orchid. The Mirana is also very vulnerable. Having Orchid this early is great on the Queen of Pain, especially considering what happened to her in the early game, where Phoenix was just like, hey, I dare you trade hits with me with Fire Spirits and an Undying here to back me up.
If you're fast, when Mag tries to blink in with a blink RP, you can catch him with that Orchid. But we'll see. For now, Era going to continue his farm. He's got an Ancient Stack awaiting him. And he is still top of your net worth charts alongside that Queen of Pain. Cloud9 just not in the best position here. As far as this early game goes, 2 minutes on the Aegis for your Troll, and I imagine NiP may look to take some more objectives with this. The T1 mid tower looking pretty tasty, but it's the Cloud9 team fight which is the one kind of scary comeback potential that this lineup does have for them.
Cleave them all down.
Yeah, 1 RP with a cleaving Juggernaut Omni Slash, and that is a level 2 Omni Slash right now.
Or like a missed egg kill can also cost them a team fight.
Envy in some ways is caught back up, at least as far as experience goes, having hit level 11 and got his basic items. We're going to Moonlight Shadow and look to go in. Meanwhile, from the side, here comes NiP. Have they got detection or vision? They're going to glimpse one back, and there's going to be a kinetic field. Nope, going to get dealt with by Supernova. Defensive Supernova just to keep himself alive as Sentry wards spotting out the Moonlight Shadow for now. The Tombstone gets used, but that's maybe something Arrow will look to focus down, especially with the protection of Aegis. He gets arrowed. Likely get focused down. RP on the side, going to push back Sealkid and Limp. They're going to lose Lina as well. Now the Tombstone brought down, but it's too late. NiP may have already lost this fight. Great Static Storm kinetic build, but where's the Queen of Pain ultimate? It's not available. It's on cooldown for 15 seconds, and that's some much needed damage. Arrow hits Error on respawn. Omni Slash to follow, and NiP lose 3.
Wow, these RPs by Fada are just really amazing. He always hits 2. And brings him back in the tower. It's so quick too. He doesn't really hesitate with them, and that's a good sign of a great Magnus player. Just sees 2. It's like, okay, boom. I'm not going to wait for a perfect opportunity. It's good enough. My team will follow up, and they end up winning a fight. And this is with an underfarmed Juggernaut. This is with, like, look at the net worth chart. Everyone's pretty poor on the side of Cloud9, and that's with NiP having the Aegis. So it's a very bold fight from Cloud9, and they also didn't have the egg because it had just been used.
They made it work with just so little in the way of spells. It really highlights how good their team fight can be, but...
Fada. Carry Fada.
Yeah. He also is like, not only does he instantly RP, it's like he doesn't hesitate on the skewer. There's something like in tennis, like a lot of time you hit a good shot and then you just sit back watching your shot, seeing how good it is. He's already making his next move to make sure he's ready to make sure his team win the team fight, rather than wait and see like, oh, did I hit 2, did I hit 3 or 4? No, he's skewering before he even sees how many he hit.
I was watching basketball not too long ago, and some guy had made some like sick 3-pointer, and then he was trying to rally up the crowd by like raising his arms, and then he was like looking towards the bleachers, and then behind him some guy just passes the ball, and then they get dunked on like 5 seconds later. I'm like, well, you can't revel in your good place. You just do them and then move on.
You've just got to keep on moving, and that's something Fata's best at. Never been a player for publicity or stardom, and just plays amazing Dota. Definitely, to me, one of the strongest mid players out there right now. And we're seeing him deliver the goods right now. He's 1-3-8, but he's kind of turned things around for Cloud9 with some of these RPs.
I wonder what he thinks of that no shockwave build.
I think he probably thinks it's pretty awful. I don't know, but he plays mid. Finding, to be fair, was off lane, but I mean, you hit a 1v1 matchup, and you got to
Shadow Blade. Dang, he's rich.
Okay. Now the items start coming out.
I mean, he doesn't look that rich. He's number 5 in net worth, but I mean,
I think it's just the Troll and the Queen of Pain are ridiculous. Like, they're really farmed for 22 minutes in. Just, they don't look that scary despite their farm.
Ahead in kills, but behind on farm. That is so unusual for Cloud9.
Yeah, this is backwards. Fata, Shadowblade in towards mid lane. There's going to be a Blink, RP, and Skewer back. Hesitated on that one. The Arrow going to miss as well. Arrow going to turn and fight the egg. This is a missed play from Fata.
We just talked about Fata for like a minute. And that was weird.
He even went, he Shadowbladed in and then went for the Blink regardless. Like, he could have maybe saved the Blink.
He also didn't do the turn RP.
No, he didn't. All the previous ones were.
And they missed the Arrow as a result. And then he got BKB off, and then he owned the egg. Pretty easy way for NiP to win a team fight due to Cloud9 miscoordinating.
Oh, they're going to catch up Bone 7 as well. That's a freebie as Bone 7 doesn't have buyback. This will open up to at least a tier 2 tower at mid.
Okay. Good thing he had all that farm. Because, I mean, yeah, you can get all this farm, and he has a mech and a Yules, but he just drops in a matter of seconds.
Bottom lane, the Queen of Pain going to blink in. No Orchid coming out, though. This tier 2 tower should still drop. There's no RP available, but Still a Magnus TP is coming in. Seal Kid gets low, the skewer back on Era, and he's going down. Nicely played by Cloud9. They don't get the tier 2, and they're chasing for more. Handskin on Disruptor. Not going to find much. They got the glimpse back to base on the Magnus. Actually will turn it onto the Mirana. If Magnus glimpse back, ends up being a favorable fight for Cloud9 regardless, but Limp with a Shadow Blade of his own is still hunting towards this mid lane.
Shadow Blade Wars. They need... I don't know. What item is Envy getting? Standard Mask
Probably
Madness
Manta against the... Maybe Manta against the Queen of Pain Orchid.
Yeah, but there's so much AoE though to deal with the Manta. They have the Lina and the Queen of Pain.
Just got a split push and Map Vision, scout with them. But it does still feel like the Queen of Pain solo kill potential is maybe reason enough to get it.
I mean, he can just TP out, right?
Depends on, I guess it depends on like how much burst Queen of Pain can offer. I mean, this is a level 16 Queen of Pain. Jonas is huge. He's taken over the top farmer.
Wait, Troll didn't have BKB for that last fight? Wow, they really messed up.
Yeah, he took a lot of damage, and despite the stats build, just looking kind of squishy in that last fight. Era now.
No, I'm talking about the one before where the Phoenix, or where they missed the arrow. I thought that he BKB'd and killed the
Oh, no, no.
Just
The arrow just like
Yeah.
swerved. The skewer made the arrow miss, it looked like, in some ways. Or he was expecting like a quicker skewer.
Yeah, that was a big deal because if they killed him right there, he still might not have BKB. Instead, he has BKB and 1,000 gold.
Yeah.
So next Roche is, I mean, pretty securely NIPs unless Cloud9 has a big RP into like an Egg and Omni Slash. They really need that right now, I would say.
It feels like the previous Roche went really well for them because that was before NIP had their BKBs, and that was when it's like your Undying has just hit like level 7, level 8, and he's really strong. But now we're getting to a point where NIP have the damage to bring down a Tombstone.
It's a very nice Sentry Ward right here. They have this Sentry Ward killed this ward, and that, I mean, that just makes it that much scarier for Cloud9 to go into the pit.
Limp gonna Shadow Blade through. This is aggressive play. He sees Fartel, LSA, Laguna Blade. Down goes Magnus, and now they can definitely go into the pit. Lina with a nice pick-off using that Shadow Blade. Arrow will... Whoa, oh, thought it hit Era. Didn't happen. So Era will presumably get a free Roche here, unless Cloud9 decide to get aggressive.
No way.
Oh dear, they're going for
I mean,
it.
Are they? Wow.
This is...
Maybe not expecting them to have sentries?
I don't know if they can do this. Jonas, he gets hit by an arrow on the low ground. If they can kill the Queen of Pain or work out BKB, blink to the side. There's your great Static Storm. LSA on 2. Envy won't even get an Omni Slash off. They're going to lose this fight horribly as the Phoenix does get out of there using a dive for now. Jonas still chasing. Has a Blink Orchid in 2 seconds as well as the Sonic Wave. No Sonic Wave even needed for that fight.
How do they think they're going to win that fight with BKBs up on NIP? Like, they have to get an RP into a cleave kill, and if that doesn't happen, there's no chance.
And they're going to lose a 4th hero now as Misery goes down as well.
They were just really desperate, I suppose, because I mean that's just uncalled for.
Being desperate's one thing, but that was a fight which never seemed like it was going to work out well for them.
I think they had a hope that they wouldn't have sentries, but I mean clearly they had a sentry around the area because they killed the Observer Ward. Yep. So, I mean they're just maybe really underestimating NIP. They just have nothing on BKB unless they get hit, like they hit him with an arrow. Envy is nowhere near enough farm to kill Troll and BKB. So, yeah, I just think that was a very ill-conceived notion to run in there and run into the river. And now with that, NIP secures map control for, I don't know, a good, probably until the next Roche.
Yeah, but by then they may have tried to even breach the high ground. They have got a Troll who's got his Helm of the Dominator, has his Skadi now being worked on, but as he picks up an Ultimate Orb.
Breaching high ground versus Fada's Mag. Tricky. All it takes is one pick by the Lina.
Yes, they need the pick off to actually be able to go for that. So we'll see what Lina can do. Needs that. Has the money for the Ag Scepter now as well. So I imagine he's picking up the point booster now and making his way over for that. So there we go. Yeah, Limp's going to bring out the Ags, and this is where it gets even trickier for Cloud9.
Because usually you get BKBs to deal with the Lina burst, but if you get BKB, you're going to get Laguna in the face, and that's 2/3 of your HP, if not more. Well, things pretty tough for Cloud9. They have a couple heroes that are just completely petered out at this point in the game. Undying, I would say, is just not useful come 30 minutes. And Mirana, who hasn't picked up many kills, is also not useful considering her farm. So most of these fights are just simply 3v5.
Yeah, the Magnus hitting RPs is so crucial because of how much these heroes have fallen off. And yeah, the Phoenix Magnus give a lot of team fight. And Envy, despite his bad start, is offering a decent amount to his team, especially when he's got that Empower on himself. But here we go, Blink Skewer into an arrow. Nice bit of teamwork there from Cloud9. It's a kill, but just an Ogre kill. Elsewhere, NiP just leaving the Ogre up there alone to defend. I don't think they quite realized how many heroes Cloud9 had up in that top lane.
But Cloud9 is 5-manning and not really farming.
Yeah, meanwhile NiP just going to farm the enemy jungle, farm the bottom lane, pushed up mid lane pretty deep.
Disruptor also almost has a Scepter, so if Juggernaut wants to use Manta, he's not going to be able to do anything.
Okay, well Cloud9 going to TP themselves out. Vata looking for another pick off towards bottom lane, and he may find this Queen of Pain. Blinks to the side just in time before he gets scouted, and doesn't look like Queen of Pain will get caught out here. Queen of Pain Scepter coming soon as well, so items galore for the ninjas in pajamas. Oh, do you go for Envy? Hoping Envy maybe pops a Manta Style or something and gets too greedy for his farm.
Yeah, it's 1500 HP though.
Yeah, even if he does, you're not looking very likely at a kill here, so NiP going to Shadow Blade up once again, just make a move through this Radiant jungle, see what he can find. Bone 7 in the mid lane, it looks like is going to be the hero on the receiving end of this aggression. 1200 HP is not enough for you, Bone 7, my friend. Laguna Blade will blow him up.
Yeah, this build from Undying is just... again, he has a lot of farm, but he just can't do that much with it. What are you going to do? Get a lot of HP and armor to tank through Troll? Undying just is not very good at farming. It was so imperative that he was there for an early fight so that he can keep NiP under farm, keep those BKBs delayed, delay those Scepters, but now they have almost 3 Ag Scepters on NiP.
Okay, well, Cloud9, they kind of got their back against the wall at this point. It is not going to be easy to turn this one around if NiP just polish things up and don't give away the kills that they kind of have from time to time with that Magnus RP.
Well, Quap gets solo RP'd, but...
no follow-up. Close. No, not really close. Sonic Wave's back up and they're hunting. They're trying to find those kills. TP's out all across the board from Cloud9, and
Cloud9 kind of just stalling for time, but I'm not exactly sure what their end game is here. Roshan going to respawn here in just a few minutes' time. Envy may be trying to look for a solo kill around here, but it will be spotted out by an Observer Ward from NiP.
Phoenix can get orchided up. Another Sonic Wave dodge. Not the first one, but not the first we've seen. We've seen a few this game. Omnislash going through. Handskin brought down on the Disruptor. And can NiP turn this one around? They're going to see... Uh-oh, 2 heroes with an LSA. Fata goes down again. Nicely played by Yerlina. The Moonlight Shadow not kicking in soon enough to keep them alive, and NiP gonna keep chasing forward, looking for Big Day No-Tail. Sunray over the trees, but he gets spotted out, silenced up as well. Jonas this time around will not be fooled, as the Yule Scepter is not going to keep him alive.
Yeah, he tried to blink out, but it was just a split second away from coming up. Well, they end up delaying Disruptor Scepter, but just a little bit. But at the same time, just no real concrete gains from C9's plays.
At this point, delaying a Disruptor Scepter by a little bit to lose like the Magnus again, the Phoenix and all that, it doesn't seem worthwhile.
Do you think Envy can end up carrying this? Like, he's under farm, but he has Empower to make up for it.
Yeah, I think you put Envy on a similar level of, like, even if you can say, let's say Envy is the same farm or has the same impact as a Troll in a team fight, I think the problem is Queen of Pain and Lina also ridiculously farmed. Disruptor with an Ag Scepter can have a high impact, so it still feels like, okay, Envy's back in the game, but Fata has to be hitting insane RPs to give Cloud9 a shot at winning this game still.
I mean, can they kill Troll in an RP now? It's 2800 HP. Or, yeah, with
Omnislash, I'd say definitely, but without, then it gets tricky.
Yeah, I mean, if they have people tanking there with him, though. Or spread out enough so they aren't getting hit by Cleave.
I mean, he can start hitting pretty hard soon, especially once he gets this Skadi of his own. Hit him in an RP and then just give him the blade dance.
Watching Fada, looking for the setup over here.
Limp is invis though.
Do they not have a gem?
Okay, there we go. They get the blink RP, catches out Limp, and they'll bring him down through the AoE damage here. They're going to drop the gem on the ground as the Ogre dies as well. Lina going to buy back. Control brings down the tomb, looks to move forward. They get the glimpse back on Fata. Magnus going to be the casualty of war for Cloud9 as Jonas wants to chase down and catch up to Misery, but not sure he's going to be able to do so as Misery gets back to the high ground. Jonas has an Orchid ready. Misery with 6 seconds to go before he can leap, and Yule's arrow. BKB dodges it. Misery now in some trouble here. Could just go for the Sonic Wave. Doesn't have mana for it though. One more right click going to be at least necessary. There's your gem drop. And Cloud9 do recover Misery's gem. That's the important thing there. But the push is coming their way.
Yeah, going for a risky play right there. And now they won't have RP up for the defense, even if Fata were to buy back right now. And it's still, what, 50 seconds left? 45 seconds? And Era not stopping. We'll take this T3 out shortly after the glyph.
Okay, well, the Rack's now completely vulnerable here in the mid lane, and there's just so little Cloud9 can do. Even when Magnus respawns, it's 30 seconds before there's an RP. Bone7 in the front lines gets taken out by a Laguna Blade. Rax goes down next, and NiP will take their prize and probably leave without any potential to take another lane. There's still T2 towers standing at both bottom and top, but for NiP, it's still a decent achievement for them, especially now that Roche has respawned. So Aegis and Cheese await the Swedish squad here.
This is it for Cloud9. They have to, I think, smoke and go for a play here. If they don't...
They're too late. They're too late. DD rune. They're not getting here in time.
It's pretty unfortunate that there was a DD rune that spawned, but I mean, with the Aegis and the Cheese on top of what Era already has.
Yeah.
Dire's top tower is under
I don't
attack.
think Envy can carry this one. He's going to need a lot more in the way of items. Not just him, but he's a solo carry at this point too, is the other thing. For NiP, the amount of damage a Lina or a Queen of Pain can offer makes it kind of feels like a 3-carry lineup for NiP. For Cloud9, all the damage is coming from Jug. Magnus can give him that big team fight capabilities for the NiP, which is amazing in the late game, but as far as damage output goes, Magnus doesn't offer a whole lot.
And their supports just don't do anything versus BKB. I think that's one of the bigger deals. Whereas Ogre, at least he can still bloodlust his teammates.
Oh, the Static Storm. Envy gets isolated and brought down. Meanwhile, to the south, Fata gonna get glimpsed back in. Oh dear, that skewer not gonna save his life, and that's gonna be 2 dead at the top for Cloud9.
Yeah, that's rough.
So, Ninjas in Pajamas probably gonna look to just push out the next lane and go for another set of racks here. Era's already at bottom lane with the Boots of Travel purchase, and he's probably just feeling confident enough to solo push this tier 2 tower.
Seal Kid.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
What's Seal Kid up to?
Just walking around.
Just
clipping down wards.
Just excited by Seal Kid. Now we're talking Seal Kid.
Radiant's
Look at that
bottom
Warden.
tower has fallen.
I mean, level 4 Bloodlust is no joke. They have so much plus attack speed. Bloodlust, Troll, and Lina.
Everyone's a carry at this point.
Yeah. I mean, first pick Lina is just, or first pick Phoenix is just,
Own it.
I don't want to say like completely counterable, but easily countered, I would say.
Yeah. It was a support Phoenix, so they did invest a lot. I mean, it's a lot of heroes to counter a support Phoenix, but
I mean, it's
the,
not like,
the cores didn't do enough.
they can also just right-click anyone else with their massive amount of damage.
Fata going to miss that blink skewer, and Era going to finish off the melee racks now. Look to turn and fight. He's got the Helmet of the Dominate for some life, so the egg now comes out as well. Can he bring it down in time? Doesn't look like it. BKBs, that will allow him to do so. Misery next in line, does have a leap available, and looks like NiP may just back off. They earn up Era, but that's going to quickly get dealt with as he does go down to a shockwave.
No skewer up yet for Fata.
Arrow. Oh, mistime. Era not going to get hit by that one. The Omni Slash is doing okay damage. Gets him down below half HP, but now Era turns and fights. RP completely whiffs. Sonic Wave goes through, brings down your Jug. And
Did he get hit by Dragon Slave?
Hit by something. He must have. Either that or he completely PGG'd it.
This one was just way too much on Fata. Their lineup just completely depended on him hitting perfect RPs. I don't think they expected the offensive tri-lane coming out from NiP, so Envy just got hugely underfarmed and was playing catch-up the entire game. They had no real good shot at taking down Roshan. They even won that one fight, but still couldn't prevent the first Rosh, which led to the second Rosh. So I don't know. All in all, I just didn't really like the draft from Cloud9. I didn't really like how everything was on Fada. He played very well, but he couldn't carry his team. And I mean, Era was just magnificent.